right, guys, you're back again, and welcome to another insightful episode of Bamboo Street. Today, we're talking peace in the North. We already got peace in the Middle East. So, you know how it is. Trump has sat down with Putin for negotiations.
Yeah. Hopefully, this goes very well. Because there's a lot of missing factors. Let's say two people are fighting. You can't talk to just one side and ignore the other one. So that's what Trump is doing right now. Let's hear from Sky News.
Meeting with Vladimir Putin, and were there any preconditions set to agree to this meeting?
No, we had a great call, and it lasted for a long time, over an hour. This morning, I also had with President Zelensky a very good call after that. And I think we're on the way to getting peace. I think President Putin wants peace, and President Zelensky wants peace, and I want peace. I just want to see people stop getting killed. We're very far away from that particular war, but that's a vicious war. Probably 1.5 million soldiers killed in a short period of time. I've never seen anything. I have pictures that are, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe what you have to look at. Young, beautiful soldiers that are just being decimated. And it would be nice to end it immediately. But we had a very good talk with, people didn't really know what President Putin's thoughts were, but I think I can say with great confidence he wants to see it ended also. That's good. And we're going to work toward getting it ended and as fast as possible. It's a horrible situation going over. It's flat land and the bullet goes off and the only...
Good talk so far.
Yeah, it's flat land and the bullet goes.
Okay, good talk so far.
It's like Trump is like, I've seen a lot of the pictures, man.
Yeah.
And it's horrific.
Yeah, Trump is always lying. Anyway.
Thing it can hit is a body, a human body, a young human body. And they're losing just tremendous numbers of mostly soldiers. The cities and towns have been largely demolished. It's a shame what's happened to that country. It would have never happened if I were president. That I can tell you, would have never happened. It's to look at that, and October 7th would have never happened either, by the way, Middle East. But we'll get it, I think we'll get something done. We're going to be meeting, actually tomorrow they're meeting in Munich, as you know. We're going to have some other meetings, and I'll be dealing with President Putin largely on the phone. And we ultimately expect to meet. In fact, we expect that he'll come here and I'll go there, and we're going to meet also probably in Saudi Arabia the first time. We'll meet in Saudi Arabia, see if we can get something done. But we want to end that war. That war is a disaster. It's a really bloody, horrible war.
Saudi Arabia, the first meeting?
I think so. We think we're going to probably meet in Saudi Arabia the first meeting. Hasn't been set, but not too distant future. We both understand, we know the Crown Prince, and I think it'd be a very good place to be.
It sounds like that would just be a meeting between you and Putin and perhaps the Crown Prince, but not President Zelensky.
Probably we'll have a first meeting, and then we'll see what we can do about the second meeting.
To go to Ukraine?
What about Ukraine?
To go to Ukraine?
No, I haven't.
What do you get from the video so far?
Well, Trump is the one who's going to make the decision for Zelensky.
Which is bad in itself. This is crazy.
Because Zelensky can only continue the war with U.S. backing.
Yeah.
So it's like Trump is going to meet with Putin. They're going to discuss what each one of them want. And after that, he's going to propose his idea to Zelensky, and it's going to be more of a take it or leave it kind of scenario. And then Zelensky is going to be like, okay, but I need a little bit of this. And then he's going to bring it back to Putin. And Putin is going to be like, all right, if that works out, then we probably need to do it this way. And then everybody going to meet on the table, and then it's going to be like, all right, we got a deal.
Yeah, in a beautiful world, what you just said would be perfect, right? Trump coming back to Zelensky and say, this is what Putin wants. But that's not what the whole conversation is about right now. Trump is saying to the world, he's not going to go to Ukraine. He's going to meet with Putin. And in subsequent videos, he says Putin can keep whatever territory he's gained in Ukraine. And Zelensky is like, yo, I need to be there for these conversations. You can't just say, okay, whatever they acquire, they can just keep, and then we don't get anything. This is wild. And okay, so Zelensky came back and said, okay, now we also acquire a piece of land in Ukraine, in Russia. What happens to that?
So we gonna keep it?
They were like, no, that's non-negotiable. So one, they cannot keep anything they've kept in Russia. They have to give everything they have to give up their land in eastern Ukraine to Russia. And on top of that,
Russia keeping what they got.
They cannot join NATO.
Oh, Ukraine can't join NATO.
So the only deal or the only good thing Ukraine is getting out of this is the war stops.
The war stops, and whatever money the US give them or invested in them, they keep it.
Hell no. Now they have to sign a contract.
To pay back?
US is going to get that in natural resources. Because Ukraine now, they've discovered they have a lot of rare earth materials.
Oh, so when Trump meet up with Russia, they're gonna discuss who keeps what material.
You see what's happening? You see what's that? Because Russia is also fighting for that rare earth natural mineral resources in Eastern
So
Ukraine.
those are the places they have control over, right?
Not all, but part of it.
Part of them that produce these things, they already conquered those areas. They basically focus their military on those areas.
Yeah. Even if they don't have those resources, the land itself is the most fertile piece of land in the world.
But the land, Ukraine is kind of big, right? So they went after the most fertile parts of the land.
Yeah, you say that. But at the same time, Russia is saying the majority of the people in eastern Ukraine, they like Luhansk and Rabyansky, they speak Russian. They don't speak Ukrainian.
Okay.
Because they were all one people until Ukraine developed its own language or whatever. So the people that don't speak Ukrainian, they speak Russian, ethnic Russian, right? So, but then that land is really rich agricultural land. But on top of that, recently they've discovered some natural mineral resources that China, which is the largest exporter of rare earth minerals, stopped exporting to the US.
So basically what I'm just seeing in this whole thing is that when you're fighting a war, if you can't win it by yourself, you're dependent on the backing of other people. You're dependent on their mercy and their sympathy. Like, for example, with Ukraine being the smaller guy in the war, they don't have enough resources to fight against this power giant like Russia. So at the end of the day, they're going to lose the war no matter what, unless they're resilient like the Japanese, or or they were smart like the
Israelis.
The Israelis.
Okay.
If you're smart like them,
you have to be smart,
and come up with tactics to help you
win. The
win.
president is a Jew himself,
So
the Ukrainian president is a Jew.
Yeah, he was a little bit smart because according to what I was hearing, he used some tactics to push back.
Yeah.
But still, at the end of the day, Russia is so big and they've been making these things for so long. If they really want, they could blow it all up.
Yeah, they could blow it all up.
And there's nothing the US can do about it more than send their soldiers in and decide, okay, we're going to be two against.
Yeah. So I've been having this same conversation with Richard the other day. I'm like, the whole of Europe or the EU is so pussified that it can't stand to anything. This war shouldn't even have started in the first place. Once Putin amasses soldiers on the border of Ukraine, the whole of Europe, because after World War II, they signed an agreement that war will not start on our soil. But once Putin was about to invade Ukraine, what did they do? They were like, please don't. Nobody want to listen to that. So now they said, okay, Ukraine cannot join NATO. Ukraine cannot keep what they already conquered in Russia. Russia gets whatever they get in Ukraine. So the President Zelensky is like, no. I'm like, oh, this guy has some balls. He's like, without Ukraine on that negotiating table, they don't care whatever US give them. They really don't care. US can withhold everything. They will fight with their nails and hands now.
Okay, after Trump meet with Russia and they talk about it, you're gonna see if you're gonna really fight with your nails and hands.
Yeah.
Because what I'm realizing, any deal that has, that's why I see like Biden is a guy that, okay, you can say the Democrats are the people who just, okay, you guys want this? Okay, take it. You want this? You want, take it. But the Republicans are capitalists. And whatever happens, we need to make something from it. We need to capitalize on it.
Yeah, but
especially a guy like Trump. So he's like, okay, in Israel, we already got the Trump Tower, which is good for the US. We secured the oil in what do you call that place again, in Syria,
yeah,
which is good for the US. And now, okay, what's going on over in Ukraine? We're gonna get some of those rare earth materials because China has a lot of rare earth, and we don't want to spend those kind of prices. We don't want to be dependent on China because they want to plan to bomb Taiwan soon, which is really not good for the US and really not good for us. And although we have Taiwan building Intel, a nice cooperation in the US, we still have to depend on them for a little bit. So okay, we're gonna take that rare earth.
Yeah. and Trump,
and that's what's in the Trump mind, you know.
Yeah, Trump is just thinking business. Everything is a deal, but Trump has a hate and love relationship with Zelensky. Trump never liked Zelensky because when Biden, one of the reasons he thought he lost the election was because he called Zelensky to audit, because Joe Biden and his family, his son, they had a business dealings in Ukraine. Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was the head of an oil corporation in Ukraine. So there was a lot of corruption going on. So Trump called Zelensky. He's like, okay, can you allow the judges to investigate the Biden family? They call it the Barismo something. So can you allow the judges to investigate the Biden family? So if there's a corruption case against Biden, Donald is going to lose very easily. Zelensky is like, I cannot do that. So ever since that time...
Oh, you didn't help me?
He didn't help me. So
okay.
F you, man. Trump doesn't hold... Trump holds grudges.
Hold grudges, man.
So he never liked that guy. You know, he never liked Zelensky. He never liked it. So that's why he wants to talk to Putin alone. Because if he were to be any other leader, you know...
Well, he has the power to talk to Putin alone, and they're going to talk, and they're going to talk not in the US, they're going to talk in Saudi Arabia, where people always go, where people always buy oil, and we got, you know, things over there. And after we talk, like if we chatted, nothing official, but it's official.
Yeah, it's official.
After that, Trump is going to make his decision. And basically, Ukraine knows in that conversation, once they make the decision, he's already doomed after that.
He's now saying, hell no. Because to show maybe a sign of gratitude to the US, Putin released some US prisoners.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Russia have a lot of prisoners locked up. They don't need that one. It's like, okay, we still got some. You can take that,
you
man.
Got a lot more, man.
Got a lot more in the bag, man. But this deal is gonna be much more valuable than these prisoners, and I have to feed them all the time, man. Get rid of them. Man.
Yeah, so you can take them back. So hopefully something good comes out of it. But from what people are getting, I think Trump has a soft spot for Putin. Because
they're two of the same people.
Yeah.
Their mentalities are the same. Because Trump would do exactly what Putin was doing.
Yeah.
And just like why Trump liked Xi. Because they have the same mentality.
He said, I wish I was she. You could have control 1.6 billion people.
Yo.
And they do whatever you say.
Yo.
I'm like, yo, can you not say that aloud?
You know, if Trump had the power that she has, that would be like next
Trump
level.
wants to rule for a long time.
You
bro.
know, it's like he think about what these guys have. Putin has it. She has it. He's the only one that doesn't have it, but still, because of his personal mentality, he gets to do a bit of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like respect for each other.
Yeah. Because he knows he's
respect,
going to
man.
live in 4 years. She's going to be here. Putin is going to be there. So this guy's going to be there until they die. Trump wants to die in power too, but he can get it.
Yeah, mutual respect.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway,
guys, let us know what you think. Put your comments in the comment section. Do you think Ukraine is going to get a good deal? Or are they going to be left with a fist? Put your comments in the comment section. Peace and love. And see you guys in the next one. Bless.